Welcome to Acknowledgement of Differences. Welcome to that field, that famous Rumi field, out beyond the ideas of wrongdoing and right doing. There is a field. I'll meet you there. And we can meet people there, and they don't necessarily have to meet us back. That's the acknowledgement of differences. Everybody doesn't really want to go to that field. There's a self-righteousness about knowing our own inner truth and be able to like say it so clearly that's like really beautiful. I love it when I can hear somebody's truth with like a bell in my own body. And somehow that listening helps me clarify what is my resonance, what is it that I feel is true. Not ultimate truth, but the truth for me in this moment that's changeable. It changes. My truth changes, very similar to the weather, in what I'm involved in, what's coming up for me, who's in front of me, the country I'm in. And here we are, with the sunrise, the sunset, the birds. There's so many different truths. I mean, I was going into that, an immense world. I mean, the truth for a jumping spider is going to be really different from the truth from a human. And it's a similar perspective, believe it or not. It's a similar way of looking at the world. They just see many, many versions of the world, but a similar version to the single version that we have. So in some ways that we can have a connection with another species and say, yeah, we've got that in common, and celebrate that without having to become a jumping spider. I don't know if that makes sense or not. If you are all interested in the science of that, The Immense World is a phenomenal book, which is, for me, it's about NVC, Buddhism, and science all wrapped up in one. So take a breath into that acknowledgement of differences. You might live with somebody that has a very different. Oh, yeah, I'll put the author in the chat, in the YouTube chat as well. Ed Yong. He's, I think, Korean, brilliant Korean mind, Korean English, who lives in the US, a scientist, a journalist, a writer, a poet. And we don't need somebody to sort of like let us know all the differences between different species, because we know all the differences even within our own species, even without having, we're really, humans really are focused. I mean, listen to English about seeing somebody's point of view. God bless somebody who's blind that has to listen to all these seeing metaphors. I see you in the English language. Imagine in other languages as well, because it's a human thing. We're so focused on our eyes, that part of our senses we get really, really wrapped up in. And acknowledge that. Acknowledge that. That's what I'm into the visual. I like the visual stuff. I mean, my visual beauty is amazing for me. And there's a lot of other different kinds of beauty. The beauty of movement, the beauty of jasmine. Oh my God, I love the smell of jasmine. I love the smell of cinnamon pie cooking. And not everybody does. And that doesn't have to diminish my joy in it. Or at least I don't have to let it diminish my joy. I love it, though, when I can really feel into somebody's world for 7 whole seconds. And it can be not like they're right and I'm wrong. It's like, wow, they have an opinion and I get it now. I can feel that in my body, a resonance there that wakes me up, that actually gets me to know myself even more. I think that's why guessing somebody's needs is so important. Because even if they're wrong, you know, I know there's no right or wrong, but sometimes they're just wrong. It helps us. It helps me. He's like, no, I don't have the need for that. I'm not going to say the example that I have right now because everybody, you know, I don't even know if anybody can relate to it. It's not even funny. It's just a matter of preferences. Okay, I'm going to give this example. I was like, no, Mihail is not talking about that at all. But maybe, you know, it's just an idea of preferences. There's sexual preferences. Some people prefer to express themselves sexually through, through movement, through sensually being in the world. It's not about like having sex. It's feeling the sensuality of having a body. It doesn't necessarily have to be manifest in a sexual act. Ooh, Sharona knows how I love to talk about that. She might be laughing right now. She really like dove into that. I'm sorry, that might be more information than people wanted to know of like feeling that, waking up after this workshop that, sorry, it will only be in person in Bali. That's the next upcoming one. And it's really about that sensuousness, about feeling it, knowing it, experiencing it, and knowing that it's your own private world that you can share with another person or not. But it starts with you feeling your body. It doesn't start with making somebody else happy. I hate to bring that news to men. I hope you're laughing at that. But the example I thought of is like, however you identify sexually, I mean, people that identify as queer may not be crazy about, male genitalia, and some may be, so you can't, there's not even agreement there. It's kind of cute when it looks like a baby bird. Otherwise, it's like, oh, God. How do you deal with that thing? But, and that's just my personal, like, in this moment, how I feel about it. And how do you feel about your sexuality? How do you feel about your life, your needs? Is there enough room in your world? God knows that people have trouble accepting different sexualities and different ways of being in the, in the greater world. But how are you accepting yourself in this world? Your own way of being in the world, your own way of navigating the world. So wherever you're taking acknowledgement of differences, thank you, Ed Yong, just try your best to notice when it comes up. Hearing somebody else's opinion, that's the most famous way that it comes up. Because I have opinions, so I get a chance to hear others at times. And I'm really hoping that this practice of acknowledging differences can benefit all people in the world, that we can make more space for each other's, and certainly I'd like to make more space for the other species. Thank you.